Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Maggie and today I finally get to trying out the Danessa Myricks MyKitCo BYummy brushes. I bought the full ultimate edition. I've washed them, I've dried them, and I'm ready to play with makeup, play with the brushes. If you want to see me create this look and see how the brushes perform, keep on watching. So I saw something really cool on the website when you buy the product, and I think it's on their Instagram as well. You can bend this top. So there is a line here, and you can bend this down. And there's little, so you'll see there's a little clip here, and I'm going to do my best to clip it on the camera. There we go. And on this side as well. And then this becomes like a nice stand. So I'll show it to you on this side. Look at that. And I can place this down like this on my desk, and yeah, it's not just a storage case, but it's also a stand. I've come in closer, I've pushed my hair back, and let's play with makeup. I have here the Moisture Repair Balm Serum. So this is part of the Yummy Skin family. And this is what it looks like. I've been using it a lot. I've been using it with this spatula, but because we have brushes to play with, I'm going to try out this Yummy Balm Serum with the BYummy Fluffy Angle Large, which is the number 8, and it's kind of like a tapered flat fluffy brush. So I'm gonna just go in with the brush and see how this applies. I've seen online Danessa and her team applying this with a brush as well, so it's fine to apply with the brush, but I've never done it before. I usually just take some out with a spatula and then I apply it with my fingers. So today I am using it with the brush. I have to say, this brush feels so smooth, and it looks like it's applying this product really well. The product sticks to the brush nicely. It is a serum like, it's called a balm serum. It is a serum like, you know, product, and it is a thick product. So it is solid, but once it melts with your body temperature, it does become more, I would say, like oilier. It doesn't feel too oily on the skin. So because I've got dry skin, I think that's why it doesn't feel so oily on my skin. I think if you have oilier skin tone, it might seem quite oily for you. It hydrates, it keeps my skin hydrated throughout the day, and I love how it feels and how it preps my skin before I put makeup on, especially having dry skin. It doesn't leave your skin with any dry patches which create problems when you apply makeup. So I really like this balm serum, and I have to say, I'm going to feel my skin. It has created quite a nice light layer. It's a very light application with the brush, which is to be expected because you kind of usually take more with your fingers and put it on. So I think if you have oilier skin, you might like to apply it with the brush. I actually like the way it applied with the brush. It didn't put too much on my skin, but you can see it's made my skin really glowy, which I like. I've been using the balm serum in combination with the water powder serum, mainly because I don't have oily skin, but because this blurs, and I like that it blurs. So I usually just take 2 drops of this, put it on my hand, and then I take my fingers and I just go over the area where I would like some blur. And that's usually my cheeks here and my nose. So 2 drops for me is all that I need, and this is the only area where I put the water powder serum on. And that's usually my skin prep. That's usually my skin prep before makeup. I already have a lip oil on. Usually I would put on a lip oil just after this 2 steps. But since I put it on before, I'm not going to put on any more because I feel like my lips are moisturized enough. For complexion, I'm going to start off using the Blurring Balm powder in the shade 6. This is, I think it might be a little light for me at the moment because it's summer, but I'm going to try applying this with the My One, which is the BYummy Base Large Angle. And this it's a very nice, it's a dense and very big brush, and it's got a little bit of a point for little details or little corners. I think this might be a little bit light, but let's see. At the moment, I'm getting color back onto my skin because the sun's coming out more often, and so I think I'm a bit warmer than I used to be. But I'm gonna put just a very light layer of this, and then we'll see. We'll take it from there. The other thing that I like about this product is that it's blurring balm. It blurs. It really blurs. So I'm not too worried if it's a bit light because I'm gonna go in with the grounding neutrals palette, and I can fix stuff using that palette. So I'm not too worried about, you know, if it's too light. It doesn't look that bad. I'm applying it very lightly, and I think it's doing a good job. I think so. Let me do a little bit of a heavier application on this side to show you. You see, so it definitely is lighter than my color at the moment, but once I blend it out and, you know, thin it out a bit, it's not so bad. This brush is so easy because it's pointed on the top. It just fits in so nicely there under the eye, and also like right here on the edges of my lips. Just gonna give a little bit more attention to my cheeks because it can do with a little more blurring. I won't say no to a little bit more blurring in this area. I think that applied quite nicely. I'm not sure what I want to do today exactly. On the fence of either using the grounding neutrals under my eye or the BYummy, the Vision Cream Cover, VCC. And the thing is, look at my core. I have forced myself to not use this palette because my core is pretty much finished and I'm waiting for refills. But I'm actually very curious to see how these brushes do with this palette. I think I want to try the My 2, which is the small angle base, and it has like a diamond shape. I think it will do quite well for like this area, especially because it's got a bit of a diamond shape. I'm curious to see how this brush does. So I'm gonna go in with core, and I'm gonna have to really get core out here. I took a little bit. It's hard to get it out because there's not much left, but I do have some on the brush. And let's see how it does. I just picked up a little bit more. Just gonna use whatever's left on my brush for my lid. Yeah, that picks up the product quite nicely. So these brushes actually pick up this pomade quite nicely. I know when I first got this product, I tried it with the Luvia brushes, which are, I mean, these are quite soft, but there's a little bit of a texture to them, even though they're soft in the skin. The Luvia ones are super soft, and I think this product, because because the brushes don't have enough grip, it just didn't pick up the product that well. But this brush, even though, I mean, I'm trying to get product out here, because I don't have a lot, but I'm making a mess as well. Even though it picked up a small amount of product, you can clearly see where I placed core. You can see that orange, and it works quite nicely. I'm very happy that these brushes pick up the pomade quite nicely, because that was something that I found. The Refa brushes pick them up nicely because they also have a little bit of a texture to them, and my dough color ones pick them up quite nicely as well. And they're also soft, but they also have a little bit of a texture to them, and I think that texture helps to grip this pomade formula. I just want to take some of it on the sides of my lips. And then I'll fix the rest just now. And then I'm going to use the same brush. And what I usually do is I mix the two. So I mix Desert and Mirage. So I'm just going to tap in both of these. And just on top, just normalize the color on top of core. It doesn't really look like it's doing much, but if you look at the difference between the two sides, you know, this looks like my skin, and here it looks a bit orange. So it's actually doing a very good job with this pomade. This pomade formula is so, I'll come in even closer, look at it. It's so skin-like. But it covers, and everything looks, it looks like your skin. I absolutely love this pomade formula. I like to kind of stipple on this pomade because it's such it's a thick, but I won't say putty again, because it is like a putty consistency, but I remember from Teach Me Tuesday that Danessa doesn't like the word putty, so I won't call it putty. It's like a thick, it's a pomade. But yeah, I prefer to just like press it on, because it just gives you this beautiful finish when you press it on. I'm just going to use whatever's left on my brush to neutralize the core orangey shade around my lips there. I'm going to take some of the same the same two. I'm just gonna put some in the middle here as well. This is a very nice all over brush. Even though it's small, I feel like you can use this all over your face. It's a really nice brush. I say as I'm speaking like Sean Connery. Okay, I like this brush. It's small but very efficient. Very nice. This is the My 2. I want to do some contour. So let's try the My 4, which is BYummy Shaper Small Angle. So it's a fluffy, long angle brush. And I think it'll work nicely for contour. Usually I go in with Sculpted, which is this, it's like a cool brown, coolie. It's like a cool brown shade. So I'm gonna pick up, this is actually a very nice one because I haven't used a lot of it. So I'm gonna just tap it a little bit and see how much product this picked up. And I'm gonna start like here. Yeah, it did pick up. There we go. I like that. There we go. Gonna do this one as well, just here. That was the easiest contour of my life. I'm gonna just take some on my nose. And I feel like this small one works so well. Even though I used it on my cheek, which is a bigger area, it worked really well. And I'm just going to take some of it here on my nose. But it's small enough for my nose as well. Then I just have to use one brush. I don't need to use, you know, 2 different brushes for my nose and my cheeks. Sometimes when I'm lazy, I just pinch my brush and I use it on my nose. I don't even need to do that for this one because the shape is quite nice. That was so nice. I'm going to use the Targeted Fluff Small, and I'm just going to use a little bit of Mirage and Desert, and I'll just add in a tiny bit of Core as well, just to powder under my eye, because I didn't put concealer on, I just put the pomade. But the reason why I'm using the powder for under my eye here is because this powder blurs and it doesn't dry out my skin. I'm just gonna use a small brush just to add the powder there. And this Targeted Fluff brush, this is the My 19. I mean, it works so nicely. Yeah, and I'll just use whatever's left over on the sides of my lips. I'm very lazy with my brows usually, especially now that I have a fringe that covers sometimes my brows. I'm so lazy with my brows. But for the sake of trying out these brushes, this is the My39 Brow Definer, and I'm going to try it out. It's a very nice fine brush, and I usually use the shade Bark. So I'm just going to take some on this brush, and then let's see. So I'm just going to use the spoolie on the other side. Look at that. Very nice. Very easy. This is very easy. I would say this is quite wide for my brows. So especially in this front area, I did tend to make longer lines than I needed. But it was easy to fix. This brow pomade is like that. It's easy to fix. But I think because this is such a wide brush, I would have to go in from an angle and only use a little bit of the brush, not the whole brush like I started out with. Except for that, the brush worked quite nicely. Yeah, I would prefer if this was just a fraction narrower. If this width was just a fraction smaller, but that's just because my brows are not that big. So I think, you know, it's a bit of an easy fix to just use it as at an angle. But except for that, very nice brush. It did a very good job. And I love that it has a spoolie on the other end, because I always like to, after I put on my product, I just brush out my brow with the spoolie. I think before I do my eyes, let me do my cheek and my lip, and then I can do my eyes last, because that usually takes the longest time. I have the blurring balm flushed. This was a sample that I received with one of my purchases from the Danessa Myricks Europe website, and I love that they gave me all of these blushes to try out, because it's so much fun. I love these blushes so much, and as soon as I'm out of these, I will definitely buy the full size. But there's a lot of product in here, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it first. I'm going to use this BYummy Shaper My 6. I like this kind of brush for blushes, because I can put it on here, and it just blends it out and, you know, softens the blush out nicely. That's why I like a big brush like this with an angle for blush. So I think I'm gonna go in with two colors, Prima Donna and Golden Hour. So Prima Donna is this pinky color, and Golden Hour is this very orange color. So I'm going to just take some on my finger. So there's the two colors. And I saw this on Teach Me Tuesday. I saw Elijah from Teach Me Tuesday mix these two colors, and they just look so beautiful together. I'm going to go in with the My 6 and then just blend this out. Oh, look at that. That is such a stunning color combination. It looks like a sunset at the beach or something. There we go. I like that. And I really like this brush for applying the brushes because this is exactly what I do usually. I take a big brush and then I just to ensure that it blends nicely. It gives me that color, but it doesn't keep too much color in one spot, which I don't like. I like my blush to be exactly like this. So there's a little bit of color, you can see it, but it's not too much. I'm just going to take the little bit that's on my brush and just put it on my nose. I think I'm going to try the same color on my lips. Might be a little bit bright, but I don't know. I might be down for a bit of bright. I should actually use the lip brush for this, huh? I'm stupid. So the lip brush is My 40 Lip Definer. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to use Blurring Balm Flushed. And I'm going to go in with Prima Donna first because I'm feeling this pink. I'm really feeling this pink. So let's go in. Usually don't line my lips like this, but I'm doing it because I want to test the brush out, and it grips quite well on this lip line that I have. Look at that. Yeah. I'm gonna do the bottom as well. Let's see how it goes. I haven't put on any more product because I feel like there is enough on this brush. But also Blurring Balm Flushed is quite pigmented, so that's probably why. That handled quite nicely. Like I said, I don't normally like to overline. I just wanted to see how it handled my lip shape, but I think it did a very good job. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my finger and just remove this excess, and it'll give it a bit of a blurred look as well. Yeah, it did very nicely. I'm feeling this color, but you can see the pigment of my lips coming out. I don't know. I kind of like it, but I want to go in with a bit more of this Prima Donna shade. I'm feeling the pink today. I like it for now. I'll see. Maybe I'll change my lip, but at the moment, I'm feeling the pink. I don't really know what I want to do with my eyes today. I think I'm going to start with grounding neutrals, and then I'll see how I feel, because I don't really know what I want to do with my eyes today. I like to start with the powder on my eyelid because my eyelids are a little bit oilier than the rest of my face. So I found that when I start with the powder and then go in the pomade sticks better on my eye. So I'm gonna go in with Chiseled, which is this light shade. I'm just gonna take some on, and I'm gonna use the My24 applicator small. I wanna see how this packs on pigment with the powder. And it does not disappoint. Look at that. There we go. This brush applied the base quite nicely. I like how it applied it. I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to go into Chiseled the pomade because it will give me a bit more opacity and it will cover the darkness of my eye, like there. So I'm going to use it and I'm just going to kind of pat it on. I want to do Harvest, so I'm going to use the same brush because I'm going darker, so it won't do anything weird. So I'm going to just put some Harvest on the brush and I'm going to just use that for my center lid. That actually gives a really nice amount of color to it. So I'm going to just take, I'm going to take a little bit on the tip of the same brush and I'm just going to use it to add some of that deeper color on my lower lash line. This brush worked so well. I used this one brush, so this is the My24. Starting with a lighter color and then going with a deeper color. I used just this one brush and it worked so nicely. I want to add some smoke though. So I think I want to try out these two brushes for smoke. So this is the 31 and 30, My Blender Large and My Blender Medium. I'm going to use color on this one. I'm going to keep this one clean just to blend out, but they're the same shape. And I'm going to use Bark. I love this color for a very natural brown smoky eye. I'm just going to go here with Bark. This brush works so well. I'm going to take it above, because I've got hooded eyes, I'm going to take it just above that, above my crease. So my crease is here. I'm just going to do it there where my brow bone starts, because my eyes are hooded. Because this brush has got a nice taper, I'm just going to use whatever's on the tip there, just to add smoke on this inner portion. I'm going to take my large blender. So this is number My31. I'm just going to use it because it's clean to just blend this out. And I'm going to do my best to do this exact same thing on this side. I'm going to go back in with the applicator and then just take some more of Harvest and just add this just in the center. And then I'm going to take the My23, which is the applicator mini. So it's a little baby applicator. And I'm going to go in with sandstone. So I'm just going to take a little bit of sandstone and just brighten this inner corner of my eye. I also brought out my line work because I wanted to have a look at this tip. I wanted to compare it with the My 33. So yeah, they're pretty much the same tip. I'm actually going to use Linework today. I'm just going to do a very, I say I'm going to do a very thin line, but you know what happens? Sometimes it doesn't always get thin. So let me just get this mirror out, and then I'm going to try and do a thin line. There we go. So because I'm trying out the brushes, I got out my Lightwork 5. Lightwork 5. And I don't know what I want to do, but I want to play. So I'm going to use my 23, which is the mini applicator. I want strong. I'm going to go in with strong. So I'm just going to put a little bit on this brush and going to put some here. Okay, these brushes, this brush picks up this product so nicely, and no fallout yet, which is good. I only used a little bit, but still. Brave is just next to strong. I'm going for glam now. I'm going to use my 26, which is the applicator flat. It's a big one. And I think I want to try Protected. So Protected is this one, but it has a purple shift, even though you can't really see it there. Go. Maybe Healed. Healed is stronger. I'm gonna just use my finger here, just to bring it all together. I don't really know where I'm going. I'm gonna go in with the MyYummy Blender Mini, which is the 28, and I'm going to use tourmaline just to I know it's a blender brush, but I'm just going to use it to add some definition to my waterline. I don't have Danessa Myricks mascara, but at the moment, I'm loving this Kitten Lash Mascara by Eldridge. So I'm just going to finish off my look with this mascara. I really like this mascara because it keeps your lashes looking natural. I only ever use one coat. I know I've seen other people build it up 3 or 4 coats, and you can get more volume and length with this, but I like this mascara the way it is. I like it one coat, and it fans out the lashes, no clumping. It lengthens, it lifts, so it does like lift up the lashes. I don't need an eyelash curler for this. And it has the finish that I like for lashes. See? So I love this mascara. It's my new favorite one at the moment. I think I'm done. I like the peacock vibes that I've got. I'm feeling it. Yeah. I'm going to fix my hair because I can tell that this fringe now is, yeah, you see. I need to just fix this, and I'll be back, and then I'll see if I want to change my lip. There's not much hope for my hair at the moment. I think pushing my hair back that way was not a good idea, but I don't really care for fixing my hair right now, so this is just how it's going to have to be. Okay, I think I do want to change my lip a little bit. I'm going to go in with Dancing Queen, which is the Blurring Balm Flushed, and I'm just going to put a little bit over this. I think given my eye look, I want to just deepen this just a little bit. So yeah, I prefer this. So right now it's a mixture of Prima Donna, tiny bit of Golden Hour, and some Dancing Queen on top. I quite like this. I like that it's a little bit deeper and not as bright because my eyes are, I mean, they're shimmery, but they're not bright colors except for the center. Yeah, except for my hair, which I say I don't care, but look at me. Just ignore the hair for now. I did have a lot of fun playing with the new brushes. So these are the brushes. I didn't use all of them, but I tried to use quite a bit. And I have to say I had a lot of fun playing with all of these brushes, and I tried to just use Danessa Myricks products today except for my mascara. Everything else was Danessa Myricks because I wanted to see how the brushes do with her products, especially for my first impressions. But I'm also curious to see how these brushes perform with other products. So as time goes on, I will be using them with some of my other products, and I'll see how they are, and I'll give you an update, you know, a few weeks down the line probably. But at the moment, these are very nice brushes. I mean, I don't see anything going wrong with them. The quality of the brushes are quite nice. I would say my favorite ones at the moment are the My 1 and My 2. This was so easy. I used this with the blurring balm powder. It was so quick and easy. And then this My 2, even though it's small, I feel like you can still use this all over your face. I use the My 8 Fluffy Angle for applying the Balm serum. So that was the skincare, and that worked very well. It gave me a very nice light coverage of the Balm serum, but it added that glow to my face. I used this brush to take product directly from this, the product itself, like the container. But I think if I scrape some out and then use this brush to like really get the balm in there, I can get a much thicker coverage. And the reason why I point that out is because sometimes I like a thicker coverage with that balm serum because it's so moisturizing, so nourishing on the skin. And sometimes my skin is just so dry. So I used a very light hand today with this brush, but I will try it out using a thicker coverage, and I want to try it out with this brush because I think it will work well. I think if you pack on the product on this brush, it will apply it thicker. I just went in a bit light today. I used the My6 for the blush application. It was very nice. This is the exact type of brush that I use when I apply blush, and it's exactly what I wanted to do. It has a good surface area, so it blends out the blush nicely. So I still see some of that blush on my cheek. Because it's got such a big surface area, you don't get any like sharp lines with this kind of thing. So that's how I like to do my blush. And I use the small angle My4. I use this brush to contour, and I have to say I like how this brush contoured because it's a long brush, and when you kind of like press onto it, press down on the product, you get a lot more surface area than, because it's angled especially. So, and because it's long, the more you do this, the more it blends it out. And that's why it was, even though it's a smaller brush, it was nice to use on my cheek under my jawline, but it was small enough to also use on my nose. So I just used the one brush, the mini, the small, and the flat. I used all three of these. Very, very nice. They packed on the, so I used the small to pack on product from the Grounding Neutrals palette. And then I used the mini and the flat, so these are the bigger ones. I used them to put on shimmer from the Lightwork 5, and they all just worked so nicely. I used my 30 and 31, which is the blender medium and small. So I use this for smoke. The smaller one, which is medium, I used to put on velvet pomade in Bark. And then I kept this clean, but I just used this larger one to blend out. And I still see some of that smoke. Okay, my hair, if I move my hair, I still see some. I know I have shimmer all over and I kind of like changed the whole look, but I still see that smoke underneath. And these worked very nicely for a very soft smoke. The brow brush, I think, is the only one that I'm not completely happy with, and that's because my brows are just too short. Or maybe I'm just not used to using this brush yet. This is just a little bit too wide for me. So if it was like that wide, I think it would have been perfect for me. I think I'm not used to having such a wide brush for the brow. But except for that, it worked very well, and the spoolie worked. The spoolie works well, and I love having spoolie. I love that it, that they added the spoolie on the other end. And I also used the My 40 lip definer. This worked really well. I used it. I put on some product with it, but this is meant to define your lips, so I went over the line with it, and that's not something that I usually do, but I just wanted to see how it handled it, because my lips are, well, I neatened it out now, but earlier I went on the lip line itself, and it handled it quite nicely. It hugged on to this part of my lip, and it kept the product in a line, so that worked quite nicely. For powdering, I used the Targeted Fluff Small My 19. I used this small brush because I just powdered under my eyes, and because it's small and tapered. I could have went in with this one, which is the medium. So this is the small that I used. The medium is very fluffy. I think if I wanted to do like not just the inner corner, but just here as well. Like if I put concealer on here and I wanted to set concealer, I'd probably go in with this Targeted Fluff Medium, which is the 20. But because I just wanted to add the powder in this area, I went in with the small, which is my 19. So for all of the brushes that I use today, the only brush that I'm not too fond of is that brow definer brush, and that's because it's quite wide. But I'll keep using it, and I'll tell you if my impression of that changes when I give you an update on these brushes at a later time. It's just such a nice set. So I feel like I have everything I need from this set. And yeah. So here's the makeup look I created using the new Danessa Myricks and MyKitCo brushes, and mostly Danessa Myricks products because I love her products. I did have a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to keep using these brushes. They feel really nice. I'm already falling in love with the brushes. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in these brushes and what you think of them. Did you pick any of them up, and are you enjoying them so far? I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was useful to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.